Hello Healing Together friends. I decided to make this video on how to make non-dairy Bravo yogurt / drink so that it's easy and simple and that you guys don't have too much problems figuring it out. So I have a helper here, my mom, Petrula. Say hi, Mom.
Hi, Healing Together friends.
So she's going to be helping me out here, and we're going to start with the utensils and what you actually need. So the first thing you need is one large glass bowl. That's going to be where you're going to mix everything in. The second thing is 1 quart or 4 cups of filtered water. So we have reverse osmosis water, so that's our filtered water. The next thing is 1 tablespoon of raw cane sugar. So that's organic raw cane sugar. Following, you want 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. We have that ready. And the final thing is 1 dried prune. And you want to take out the seed. We actually chopped it up. Natural Solutions said it would be fine to do that, so we chopped it up to make it easier. So that's part 1 of what you need to start mixing and making the yogurt. And we're going to go on to part 2 now. So just get that ready before we go on to part 2. Okay, now that you got everything ready, the next step is to actually take those ingredients and mix them. So go ahead and do that, Mom.
Okay.
So there's the water. That's the 4 cups of water. We have the organic cane sugar, the lemon juice, and then we have the dried prune last. It says in the instructions to mix until the sugar is dissolved, so we thought maybe it would be a good idea to mix first all the ingredients without the apricot, or sorry, the prune. You can use an apricot as well. So we're going to do that, and now we're going to add in the dried prune. Probably not the easiest thing to mix. I don't imagine it will dissolve, but it has a function, so I'm going to keep it in there. Okay, that's pretty good. Thanks, Mom.
Okay.
Okay, and so for the next part of making the Bravo yogurt / drink, we're going to be emptying each of 1 of the 3 sachets into our homemade juice bowl. So just as a side note, this is considered a homemade juice, what we just created, what we just made. Instead of making this, you can actually use apple juice or orange juice straight, and because it has too much sugar, we decided to go with the non-juice recipe. So this is the water-based recipe. So those are your 2 options. So we're going to start next, and so we have the 3 sachets, and each one has a different function and role. The very first one is chondroitin sulfate, and my mom's going to go ahead and put that in the bowl and just start to mix it. It says that it might get really clumpy, and if that happens, you can use the alternate little cup there to mix it individually and then throw it back in and keep mixing back and forth. But the clumps are not to be afraid of. It also explains in the instructions that they can be dissolved during the fermentation process. So if you can't dissolve everything, don't worry about it. The next one is living dehydrated bacteria. So we have them ready and open. I'm gonna go ahead and mix that. So it's looking kind of clumpy. So we're gonna do our best to mix it, and if it's too clumpy, we're gonna try breaking up the clumps in the little cup there and see how that goes. And the final one is living dehydrated bacteria and yeasts. And you just need 1 sachet for your drink, and the drink is supposed to last an average of 10 days. You want to consume it within 10 days. Mixing hard?
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to go on to the next step. Just as a side note, the Bravo non-dairy Europe from Natural Solutions comes with an actual bag, which is pretty cool because you can store all your stuff back in the bag, and then I just put the bag straight in the fridge, and of course it has the instructions, so you're all set to go. And there's not many of any clumps left, so you have the possibility to dissolve the clumps, so it's pretty good. So next step is to actually use an aluminum foil and cover your mixture. You want to do it loosely so that your juice here can still breathe and be able to ferment. And it says to leave it sitting fermenting for 24 hours at room temperature, so there's no heating or cooling involved. And you want to put it in a quiet place, away from vibrations, heats, drafts, sunlight, or blowing fans. You don't want to mix or stir it in the meanwhile. And you can also use a toothpick right over there to make a hole or two in it, just to give it some breathing space. Make sure it's able to breathe. And once 24 hours go by, then you can take this mixture and transfer it into a glass jug. And you want to filter the mixture into the glass jug to remove any of the fruit particles, so the prune that we've used. And once you transfer it, it's basically ready to drink, and you can store it into the fridge for up to 10 days. The recommended serving for drinking the non-dairy Bravo is 1/2 of a cup serving daily. I would say that's pretty much a big dose. It's pretty strong. I would start with even a teaspoon or a tablespoon and kind of work your way up, because we're all very different and sensitive, and you want to do what's best for you. Okay, now for the last steps, through the magic of the internet 24 hours later. Next step is to mix the contents of the bowl that's been fermented, so you weren't touching it for the last 24 hours or so. It was just sitting by itself and fermenting. And once you mix the contents, you are to pour it through a filter to filter out the prune, the pieces of fruit, and to have it ready in drinkable form. And it says that any sort of sedimentation or opaqueness is actually a good sign that the fermentation process has gone well. So you can see it's pretty opaque. You cannot see through the actual liquid mixture, and it is ready to consume. It also suggests that you use an aluminum foil or something breathable to store in the fridge for up to 10 days. And the dosage is, of course, very unique to the person. It suggests doing 1/2 cup a day. I think that's way too strong. I would start with 1 teaspoon and slowly move up and do what makes sense to you. Alright, so I'm gonna take my first dose, my first shot here with you, all of you guys. I have Petrula doing the honors. Mom, over here. Thanks, Mom. There we go. And wish me luck for my treatment. Bottoms up.
Cheers.
So for those wondering, it actually does not taste sugary at all. For those who are concerned with the cane sugar and the whole idea of fermenting and putting sugar in it, sugar is actually absolutely necessary for the fermentation process, and it is extremely light. It actually tastes watery with a hint of prune juice and a nice kind of flavor to it in general. I actually really enjoyed it. And yeah, again, it doesn't taste sugary. It's not bitter or sweet. It's more just light and kind of neutral, if anything, with a hint of some kind of a juice taste. Also, you can take it with or without food. It says in the instructions, so there's no real stipulations. And the mixture that you just made is good for 10 days. So there you have it. Cheers and bottoms up. Hi guys, I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. If it's helped you, please like and share. If you'd like to hear and see more and stay up to date on the latest healing information and community discounts, please head over to www.healingtogether.org. I wish you guys all from the bottom of my heart continued health and healing blessings. Mwah.
Healing Together is a global healing community. We believe in creating self-sufficient people and not patients. We believe in raising the bar of health consciousness worldwide. We believe that the time for a health renaissance has come. It's here. It's now. We're living it. We are it. Our mission and vision is global healing. We intend to accomplish this by creating more opportunities for healing within the community. We do this by overcoming both financial and physical barriers. Financial barriers to a community that's been so financially devastated, that's too sick to even work or hold a job. We overcome financial barriers by negotiating better price points within the community. We overcome physical barriers in the sense of where treatments and therapies do not exist by petitioning to bring them to different cities and countries across the world. We do not heal alone. We heal together.